see. We're doing very well for just following matchups today. Everything is just kind of ready ahead of us. Usually it's the other way around. We're waiting for matchups a lot of the time. But today it's a go, go, go kind of vibe. And we are go, go, going into the top left of Whispers of Gold, where we are going to begin with the blue Terran player from Team Liquid. This is Clem. Map that was not taken out the map pool then by either of these guys in the vetoes, which I feel like Whispers of Gold made it in because some of the other maps got vetoed. But yeah, this one going to come in here as well. One of the shorter maps, so something to think of there as well is the size that this map works on and operates on. Definitely makes some of those Clem pushes to be quite dangerous. But you also got to know as well that Solar is obviously a guy who's in this one on the bottom right, but is also going to be loving the ability to just about hold on. And if you can get to lurkers, then this map's good for lurkers too. A lot of choke points and pathways you can utilize them in, so expect that to be a factor as well. As we head into this opening game, and we'll see where we're going to go to see what the plan is going to be. Take a few moments to get that all established. Again, Hatch is mining away nice and comfortably for the moment, just coming through with this. And you have our couple of SCVs popping about, the Reaper in the orbital going to begin up as well. The extractor coming through. And some mining, like I say, nothing too crazy or too audacious to begin with here. There ain't nothing wrong with just kind of going slow with the flow. That's a phrase. It is now. Slow with the flow. Kings and Queens coming up here from Solar and continue to produce those through. Our command center will be on the way. Add on a Marine, add on an SCV. We'll continue to get that going. Ling's just going to pop out. Going to make their way across as this Reaper is going to show up. So first bit of action here from Clem as he steps into the natural expander Solar. And the Reaper will begin to go back and forth here. So in we go for the attempted pickoffs of some Zerglings. 2 Lings already beaten up. The Queen popping shortly will be a much more surefire way of getting damage onto the Reaper, which will help to then, of course, push it back. Reaper just obviously lingering out the front. Trying to catch maybe the possibility of like a creep teamer going down or something to that effect. And it doesn't quite happen here. In the end, let's just have the Reaper going to step through once more. There's going to be Zerglings on that high ground. And so the Reaper is not going to have the best of moments trying to approach the front. It's just going to get turned away. And he's going to have to reconsider things. Definitely not going to find any success over where it was just trying to on those past few moments. Yeah, outside the Reaper, not much else going on the map. That's the link speed coming through. And a couple of Queens going to be there, aiming to push that Reaper away still. Will be, again, one of our main points of interest here. Now joined up with the Hellions, so has a little bit more support. We'll see if that extra support gives it a chance to really, like I say, get much of anything done. As we will start to roast through a couple of Zerglings, if nothing else, going to get some of those kills right off the bat. So try and get into this main base. The Queen puts into a good position. It blocks the Hellions, keeps them on the natural, so only the Reapers are allowed into the main base. So a good little bit of crisis management right there. Making sure that we don't let this get too out of control or anything. Extra Hellions showing up though, and this is already Clem coming in for 6 additional workers. Clem is so good at finding ways in with those Hellions and always finding some way to make them effective. Like, this is obviously not something that happens a lot of the time. As the clock continues through, the Banshees are coming online. You see the Tech Lab coming up as well. 6 drones early though. This is the kind of damage which you take, and then very soon after you start being like, uh-oh, hang on, wait a second. Because then Clem starts hammering the point home. And he just gets into a very powerful position. He gets into a great spot. It makes it very difficult for the opponents as the couple of Hellions will come back over against Impact Cloaking. Banshee and +1 and Marine still very much so coming through. Queens will be there. Hellions turned around one more time. And a couple of engineering bins being brought up, a couple of barracks coming online as well, so we just bring so much of that on into play. And again, we've just been following this Hellions. It's overall going on a little bit of a journey as well right now, coming over and moving through. Hellions step up. Overlord should go down here. Would be surprised if it lived. And chased even just by a single Marine. Hellions going to try and dot their way forward. They find a little bit of creep spread, so some damage that can be done. Not too much. Pretty reasonable track of things thus far. As our 1-1 upgrades are now on the way out. On the side of Clem, he actually did get 4 more drones. Sorry, the Banshee's showing up here, and they get 5 drones in total. So the Banshee's succeeding off down to this bottom side third base. I'm worried for Solar because he's just taking so much damage. Like, the Hellions did damage, the Banshees have done damage. What hasn't been doing damage so far is a very good question. The answer is nothing, really. Everything from Clem has been successful. And if everything from the Terran player is successful when they macro as well as Clem does, like, you will just roll over and die when Clem attacks you. Now, you're going to start building Roaches here, which is a fairly sturdy force early in the game, but you're already down on army supplies, so that's very telling. Playing Roaches with less army supply, and then the Roaches themselves are kind of like, oh god, I just need to hope he overcommits into me a bit, maybe, or I just need to scramble. Like, he knows Ling Bane's never going to be good enough in numbers. Maybe with Roaches, he can play a bit weird and funky. He's going to go melee upgrades behind it, which is something I think Solar has generally been doing lately, so it's not even maybe necessarily the Roaches as a response to the situation. I think the problem is that the Roaches don't exactly save the situation either. Some Hellions just going to burn up some Roaches, get them cooked up a little bit. There's still the 1-1 upgrades. Finishing up on those engineering bases. Zerglings go patrolling around in the main base. And the Banshee's going to get rid of a couple of those Zerglings as well. Army continues back and forth. We have a few Hellions coming up one more time. Still got the Bane speed coming through. The Hive is on the way. He's just hitting this mineral line again. Gets 2 more drones. And again, we just keep on going with this potential damage being done again and again. So just popping through, getting a couple of workers, picking our way through the opposition. Just getting ourselves into better positions here thus far. It's rough because all the time I'd say, well, Solar is so good at surviving, but he's not even on his way to like the typical lurker den. He would try and survive until. So I don't know what he would be surviving to for now. Currently a full set of upgrades in favor of Clem. Already started his 2-2, catching Morphin Ravages here. They actually do get to morph and run away, but multiple Queens go down. This base is basically a forfeit already, as the Lings that try to come through from the other side don't go anywhere. Baneling speed not done either, so all the upgrades missing for Solar. Clem hitting in the 10 seconds before these upgrades are ready is huge. Gives him a lot of time to take a very good fight. Absolutely guarantees he kills this base. Crisp timing window from Clem, and he completely abuses it. Very nicely done. Marines stem up again. The Zerglings are still going to run forward. Roach Ravager going to follow in its steps, and again a few more corrosive bars going down once more. The Marines still fighting Queens, Roaches, and Ravagers, trying to fight once again. Going to chase to the corner, and that Queen will be going down. It's a nice catch. The Roaches and the Ravagers again stepping through. Clem just does way too much. The lead established early, and Clem takes that lead and, as usual, runs with it. In the top left-hand side, our blue Terran player is going to be Team Liquid's Clem. Battling against the red Zerg in the bottom left-hand side. Both players spawn on the left side of the map. Here on one of our TLMC 20 finalists. We've added to our WardiTV map pool for the next few weeks. It is Solar. Yeah, this map is definitely very cool because it actually has a healing shrine. We'll see if that gets used at all. See how this whole scenario builds up and pans out. get into game number 2. So yeah, Clem has the 1-0 lead. Match going through, gas in the pool. No surprises from Solar, no super significant cheese super early on or anything. So the hatch gas pool continues to come on through. It's going to be seen Reaper coming up. Clem showing us the ability to get set up onto his Reaper play. Get that underway. No surprises there. So we have a couple moments of calm. Just tell you guys what's coming up this week. Tomorrow we have the Boomer Bash first qualifier. We'll be having a second qualifier that I believe it's on Sunday. And then Wednesday and Thursday it will be the Rex tournament as well. Oh, is it Saturday the next Boomer Bash qualifier? And then Sunday is actually the first group of the Boomer Bash qualifier. Then what do we have on the other day? Why am I missing a day in my head? What have we forgotten about? Friday's the day in the next 2 weeks I'm not streaming because Ellie was meant to go to the vets and then now she's not. So we'll see what happens. Okay, cool. Yeah, so maybe you stream on Friday, maybe not. But yeah, the rest of the days this week we've got lots of cool stuff with basically a combination of Boom and Bash tournament and the Rex tournament. The Rex tournament we had the qualifiers for last week, has some great players in as well, so that should also provide some fun content. I think we're all looking forward to that. Again, the link speed building up. We got a few drones plus a queen on the way through. Add a hatchery into play as well. So all of that coming online right now. Bring the tech lab up and online. And this Reaper tries its best to get a creep tumor, but was there a little bit too late, so it does get finished up before the Reaper can get a kill. Obviously, get rid of that first creep tumor, slow the connections out onto the map for the creep, and it can be significant. One of the best things the Reaper can do super early on, outside of, the scouting information and so on. Reaper hops around. Yeah, there's that healing shrine that is so rarely used. I do feel like, though, the amount that this is getting played, we might start to see the healing shrine used a little bit more. Obviously, it's not significant for too many of these units, but this is, a scenario. If these Hellions got out, they could go and heal up, for example. 4 drones go down. It's already bad damage taken by Solar, right? This is already problematic. You keep taking shots like this, you keep taking damage like this, you're just asking to end up in troubling positions, you're just asking to end up in difficult places. And that's kind of the problem that we're ending up on, right? Is that these things become big issues if you're not careful. And again, someone like Clem, you just can't afford to take damage like this. It's going to be a second Rax early, so we are going to see a little bit of the 2-1-1 element to it. Now, it's obviously a third CC, so you're going to have good economy as well, but still has that aggressive follow-up kind of going in also here. Marines get there, the Overlord goes down, Stimpack continues to come up, the Hellions is going to be there straight away, pushing the Zerglings off and out the engineering bay, and our Rax continuing through. It's going to be a third Rax, 2 more engineering bays. As Stim finishes up, we'll see if Clem can poke around for any further damage. Looks as though Solar has tightened up his defenses against the Hellions at the very least now. Yes, they got in initially for some shots. Hopefully no more from now. Those Marines very much so still gathering together. The melee upgrades are coming through as well, the +1. And the combat shield also in play right now. It's just going to keep bringing that up. And Melee upgrades continue online. The 1-1 upgrades and the combat shield coming up. And you have a few Marines being added on. And the Baneling Nest alongside alongside some additional Lings. Need to get produced for the moment. That's what Solo needs. A game where it's a lot more defensive early on, able to play a lot more, slowly. Hatch goes into that bottom right-hand corner, so we get a fourth base underway down in that corner. Again, the Marines are going to come stimming across. We'll get some creep teamers as we go. A lot of creep going down, so the creep across the front. Then picked off immediately. The additional couple of creep teamers here potentially in trouble. The drone's actually going to be found. Right off the bat, the drone's going to get caught. We stim further up. 4 workers, 5 workers, 6 workers, 7 workers, all dropping. We come back down the other way. The Overlord goes down as well. Let's see, the Queens are going to hit there. The Medevac taking some damage. Loading up one more time and still got very much so. The Hydra Den continuing to come on through. Adding on the 2-2 upgrades, adding on the bailing speed. It's going to be seeing the groove spines coming up as well. Here come the Marines, just going to unload onto this hatchery. Now the Lings nearby as well could definitely maybe make their play here in the next few moments. The Banes, the Queens going to come about also. Just going to be seeing the Queens straight toward the Medevac and just making sure to push that away. Nice, quick, and easy. Is once again up in supply though. The 8 racks ready to go, and I think he knows like this is definitely a situation where the 8 racks might just be able to overwhelm. At the very least, we'll have bailing speed ready on the side of Solar. This is an interesting kind of top to bottom map as well, right? So you can kind of go and push from the top to the bottom quite nicely, and that is maybe what Clem likes. But I don't think it's impossible to wrap around this army. I don't think it's impossible to surround this army. It's just if it gets into position quickly, it's likely going to do very well. If you catch on the way out, that's great, but obviously that's a little bit too late for how Solar is having to play this experience currently, as we are going to have ourselves the big attempt to surge on forward. We're going to morph in more additional Banelings. It's got to use the Ling Bane that we've got as we do begin to commit on through. Marines getting clobbered right off the bat. More of those Banes going down. Also here, the Hydra's going to turn. The Queen's going to turn with it. Marines continue to stim after everything. As the Lings up top are going to narrowly catch the siege tanks, but thanks to the Medevac, we'll be able to evacuate. Good job so far by Clem. We have enough Banelings right now. We're losing Banelings as they try and roll into the Marines. It's never a good sign, although the Marine count is going down. And Solar's starting to somewhat find a defense here. He'll get forwards and clean up the siege tanks too. And I think Solar might have just made the defense necessary, because now he's going to have 2-2 upgrades, so a little upgrade lead for a few moments. That will help extend the defense a little longer. And the longer that you defend here, the more that the fact that Clem is just on 3 bases becomes an issue. Now Clem is going to look towards his transition. He knows that he's been very capable in the past of playing out of a 3 racks into just a transition, even when a lot of the players would not. As the Marine step up to get the Queen. 2-2 upgrades. Oh, very much so. About to finish from Clem. So +2 attack finishing now, but still no +2 armor. So the Lings right now trade well. And Solar's going to take advantage of that, coming straight through, jumping on some units and just saying, yeah, okay. In that moment, you had a very mild upgrade lead. I'm trying to make the most of it as the Marines come forward again. The Bane Hydra in the center has to defend that bottom right side. Just to see Solar expanding up the right-hand side now as well. Interesting pathway. I wonder if it's just because it doesn't naturally come into contact when the Terran pushes. The Terran likes to push down the left. Then that left side forward base, the triangular off the main, is not a great position to have. Whereas the right side maybe is a more achievable position. Like, we have yet to see a Terran really be pushing through those speedy zones either. It's actually kind of bad to sit in a speedy zone because it means your opponent can approach you so quickly. As the Lings are going to try and commit to saving the Hive. Committing into This main base, a lot of the lings just get straight up sacrificed. Now the Hydra's in the base shop, and that's what you really need. The Lurker Den going down. If you've ever watched me cast a solo game, you guys know what I'm going to tell you. The closer the solo gets to Lurkers, the better off he typically ends up being. It's always a drag, it's always an absolute fiesta trying to get to Lurkers, but the moment he gets there, it's like someone else has taken over the game because he is so controlling and so good with that Lurker phase. You just got to get to that Lurker phase a lot of the time to begin with. Fortunately for Solid, loses the base on that right-hand side, so no fifth for him just yet, as Clem is already thinking about evening up the base count here by getting his 4th base on location. May as well stim. Lings chase back. Army pulling away. Marine tank medevac joining up once more. Fire comes across. Cleaned up a few more creep tumors. Again, just little by little chipping our way through all of this. Keeping the 5th base away. Making it difficult getting rid of banelings, so it's always just Zerglings running into a clump of Marines. It's never going to be fun. Actually going to swing the majority of his army to the left, and Solar just not really realizing it. So a lot of these Hydras end up being caught as he was chasing. Has to recancel a base there, immediately recognizing that that's not going to go well. Tank getting caught in the blinding cloud. We'll see the Banes coming through. Nice blinding clouds across most of the tanks. Solar is going to come out winning this fight. And still very much so chasing these medevacs have some lifting to do, because I think these Marines are in some trouble. And lift we will. However, this gives you the opportunity as Solar to continue to chase. And he's going to go across the map. Don't forget his Lurker upgrades are coming in, so he's essentially just getting into better and better spots. And tanks there defensively enough to turn the Zerglings around and get them running. So no surprise there. Those additional lurks coming through, then again tanks and Marines regather once more. The army, Lingbane Hydra joins up as well. Just chilling over here. I'm gonna find this little group of Marines. Could have been much worse for Clem. Could have been a much larger portion of his army getting lurked up. So I don't think you're gonna be upset about a drop being the one that gets taken down, and give you the awareness in the game that that is something you now have to truly think on and keep in mind. When the bio pulling back, tank shot good. And Clem's position once again is showing its power. Able to siege up behind a lot of the rocks, a lot of the gaps. Get some snipes off the overseer going down. Okay, we'll take a chance to chase, and obviously as long as you scan ahead to know the lurkers aren't in wait, it's still a fairly safe play. It's just the lurkers, if they hold position, and that could cause absolute trouble if you step on into them without knowing, but like I said, that doesn't seem like it'll happen here. Straight through my upgrades continue to come online again. Coming through, you're getting quite a few lings. Picked off once more. A few of these lings going to come across here. Hatchery goes down that right hand side. That's going to be our gold base. Yeah, nice Solar, right? Playing across the bottom and into that right hand side. Yeah, I'll just take a nice forward expansion. It's in line with my 4th. And it's called Gold Minerals. I'm rich! What are we loving that? Maybe actually going to get sniped, unfortunately, for Solar, so in the game which was going fairly well for him, he will lose some of his major tech units right off the bat there. He'll need to split a few units off to get rid of the tanks, preferably not Banelings. Crashing into those tanks feels very wasteful as the rest of the Ling Bane tries to move forward now. I can't be convinced that the numbers are enough. We're going to need reinforcements to make this look as though we are strong enough here. Lurkers get down that right-hand side. SCV's getting picked away at. Lurkers going to be back into that Nidus. I love how Solar's playing again. When he gets to Lurkers, he's such a fun player. He becomes so much more creative. He feels so much more comfortable. It just gives him so much freedom, it feels like, in this matchup, which is amazing to see, you know, getting to a certain tech point, just kind of giving someone the confidence to kind of play through so nicely. Goes coming around, a couple changes get knocked away at, +3 vehicle weapons coming up. The extra Ghost, the Liberator production, and the +3 vehicle weapons, like I say, all that good stuff continuing through as well currently. As the Lurkers will sit there, and the couple of depots will take some more damage. Good snipes, plus the Liberators as well, helping a lot against those Lurkers. They'll have to retreat away and pull back once again as Clem still struggling to take some of his bases because of the pressure that's being applied here. And I mean, this base is going to go down too, so we're going to lose on the upper right-hand side of Planetary Fortress. And Solar makes another good grab at the economy of Clem. I think one of my biggest concerns right now for Solar is just longevity of his army. Like, his army is not made for the long haul. It's definitely not made for the game that we're heading into, which obviously the Lurker aspect of it would help a lot. Diving forwards here, I mean, maybe it doesn't matter if you just break through. I just wonder what his long-term kind of tech plan is. It's already good, you know, it's all well and good having Ling Bane Hydra and you can add in some Lurkers, but do we want to set up anything else to kind of help us out truly into this later stage of the game? Or are we actually okay with that kind of a composition? We need to get rid of the Nidus in the upper right-hand side, so that will fall. Solar's right back onto the front. Solar is relentless right now. Just as soon as his reinforcements up, I love it. Like, while he's reinforcing the main army, he's trying to make some of the harassment happen. It pulls Clem around, and then boom, the main army is back operational, and away we go again. Just really not giving any peace and quiet at all just yet. Tank shot will get some Zerglings, a few more Lings getting picked away at. We are going to be seeing the Overseers taking damage too. Left side, the few Lings burrowing up. The other Lings going to step forward as well. Just going to be seeing the jump onto the siege tank here, so that tank will go down. The extra Bane's coming up. Hydra Bane is still coming over. The rest of the bio stepping forward as well. Good snipes coming down, actually hitting a lot of units too. The Hydra's still coming across over to the right there, and a couple of extra libs, tanks, and marines continue to come on in. Having siege tanks on that right side, I was going to say, kind of exposed, and a couple of Lings are going to start working their way through them, which is really nice. The Hydras and Banes then get to run through without taking a lot of tank shots. Plunging backwards here to just aid in the retreat. Speed that retreat up a little bit. And the rest of the Ghosts still very much so gathering and looking for more of their opportunities to get involved. Fire comes back over. Again, the SCV is just going to sit on the refinery here currently. Couple Ghosts coming about. The Liberators and tanks being reproduced as the concern for me still very much so is what is the longevity of this army? How long can we do this for as Solar? Like, we've had some moments where we've broke down a base, but we've never pushed through beyond that. We've never taken that little bit of the extra step toward truly being able to kind of put an end to the game. Gonna step forward once more as we do have the Banes crashing through. Damage being done. A couple more Balins here, but they're going to get knocked down pretty quickly. Still got the tank set up over on the side. We get 8 more Hydras, more Lings and Banes, all being added through. Get rid of some of the group spread here, and one of the forward queens. Solar supply is still fantastic, maxed out against a 165 Clem, who does not have endless money. Solar has money in the bank for days. Funny, by the way, at this point in the game, Solar basically just owns the healing tower as well. Like, it's just on his side of the map, so that seems like a pretty good bonus as well. Obviously, because he owns over 50% of the map, as those couple of Liberators will go down. And we will continue to press through. All of these Banes crash in. The Ghosts and the Marines taking a lot of damage. The Hydra's still trying to fight. Snipe coming off onto the Overseers. Clem just losing a lot. Another base going down. Solar just taking fight after fight that is very much so good enough. And for the amount of fights we've seen, a 9,000 resource loss difference in favor of Clem is actually in favor of Solar, right? Like, yes, the bigger number is in Clem's favor, but it's fine for Solar, who is mining much more, taking bases on Clem's side of the map even, and being this oppressive with the army, still having money to spare. Clem has to say GG in 22 minutes on Persephone. Pass on by just like that, with Solar able to take a tied-up series. In the bottom right-hand side, bottom left-hand side, sorry, just getting confused by the mineral layout, is going to be our blue Zerg player Solar for game number 3 of this series. Tying this up with a very cool game just previously. In the top right hand side, our Red Terran, one of our favorites, but tied up here. Let's see if we can get it done on Sandworm. It is Clem. And I hope everyone is doing great today. Thank you so much again for joining us for WardiTV Mondays. And busy week this week, streaming every day bar Friday, potentially. And then next week we're streaming every day, and the end of March is busy. We got loads of content continuing to come through for you guys. So, yeah, don't forget to keep on supporting it if you can afford to do so. Navgarov with the 50-month resub on the Prime. We appreciate it. Thank you so much. Yeah, this map's cool. I like it. Some of the layout's very decent. It's just you've seen a hatch and gas and pool coming across, a couple of drones coming about, the Reaper on the way. Don't know why everyone underestimates Solar so much. I don't think it's crazy, because Solar's always very consistently good and up at the top levels. The problem is that, especially recently, Solar has not been winning as much. Maybe the last week he's been a little bit better again. But I would say he's been at a lower level recently. And not in a bad way, just in a, like, you know, he definitely has not been looking like he could take maps or series off of the top guys. But the last week he has. And so I think it's fair to underestimate, because if he keeps this up for another couple of weeks, people are going to talk about Solar being an absolute beast again, but it is a little bit off from the most recent history is a little bit off from the less recent history, I suppose. Oh, Snadge PR, thank you so much for also using your Prime on the channel for the 3 months. Appreciate it. Each and every one of those subs is a step towards more StarCraft 2, so we appreciate you guys. Thank you again for supporting as our factory plays the Swamply Doodle onto the reactor. The barracks is going to go build a tech lab up. Triple CC already setting up from Clem. Obviously, the Reaper Hellion setting up on the map in general. Okay, a couple of Hellions, the Marine coming about. Hellion just gonna go pressing through again, the Lynx be coming up. We've seen the couple of Hellions in the Reaper continue to move through. Link speed is very much so on its way around and figuring out where it could go to. Again, those Marines gathering. Hellions just going to go one way, trying to poke across there for a few moments. Again, Rotron will continue about. A few extra drones coming over, and the Overlords in, the Queens as well. Stim pack is already coming up to being finished as the extra Marines come on through too. Drop the extractors down. Just to see where the Roach Star is going to go. And additional drones getting built. The lair coming in online. Ripper and 2 Hellions making their way around into the center. The few Zerglings gathering up as we speak. Hellions is going to begin to work on these rocks. This is one of the interesting parts of Sandworm, where you can absolutely take this gold base and you can put the hatchery down. It doesn't get blocked by the rocks. The rocks are only there to block the mining. So it means that you do have to put in, time investment. You can't realistically take it as a third base because you don't knock the rocks down in time. But you can take it as a fourth quite nicely. And as Zerg and Pros doesn't get punished, you can put the hatchery down and then work on the rocks after. So it's quite nice. It's just going to be seen that Marine's going to try and hit a couple of Lings. Going to take some shots as well. Queen's going to fire back the other direction. The hatchery's still gathering. The few creep tumors going down. And the Roach is gathering up at the front there for a couple of moments. Get rid of those rocks. So yeah, that fourth base will be a gold. That's something Clem has to contend with then, that gold base. And that economy boost that you're going to have to keep an eye out on. Get rid of another Overlord up at the top. Marines load back into this medevac. We're going to go boosting away back toward the center for a few moments. The 1-1 upgrade still very much so on the way here from Clem. Combat shield just finished. You know, it's just a carapace, roach speed. As the second Evo chamber comes up, we'll see the continued attack upgrade, which I imagine will be melee. If you were going to go missiles, you probably just would have gone double Evo chamber. But yeah, I think there's just going to be melee upgrades in the end, and the intensity onto carapace could lead you into kind of ultras. Make sure your carapace upgrades are there initially, for example. Fillings run in, the Marines load back into the medevacs. Just going to see the Roach Ravager very much so continuing through. The Marines stim toward the gold though. Solar has to be in the correct position, cannot let this gold go down. Fourth base is typically too important, especially one where you're trying to take advantage of a boosted gold economy. You really want to keep this up. Loses a Ravager over here though. The two different drops are absolutely causing concerns for our Zerg as Clem now reaches across to the third base. May as well be there. Medevacs take damage. Gonna go unload over on the sides. Again, the balance speed very much so on its way up right now. Melee upgrade in production. That's a big push from Clem heading out through the center. He's adding on 3 more barracks, but that is after the 4th base, so that 4th CC will be his priority. Tank Siege is right in the middle of that area. It's going to make it kind of interesting for moving through. See how Clem utilizes it. Bane speed not ready yet. This fight for Soul is going to be ugly with no Bane speed. I didn't even feel like that much Roach Ravager to back it up either, but he does at least bile down one of the siege tanks, so a little bit of a win for Solar if nothing else. Now the Ling's still moving forward. The Marines and the Hellback getting jumped on. And Solar's still just about hanging in there, just ahead on supply. Marines load back into the medevac. The Roach is going to be there. And the extra couple of Bane's going to come up. Actually taking the supply lead, I do think some of these trades have absolutely been in his favor. He's been able to take some better fights as the Marines come about. Queen goes down. Marines continue to pull away here. A couple of units still trying to chase. Marines going to step through. The Queen going down. A couple of Vipers stepping up. The hatchery can take a little bit more damage as well as a Ling Bane pulls back. A couple more shots coming through. Tank shots will keep on firing. Like I say, it's interesting because we've got this position to kind of work on. This is the problem with kind of taking the gold base, right? There's positions the Terran can work with to try and hit that gold, but, you know, Solar just deemed it worthwhile to still try and take the gold either way. Does not seem as though those Banes will be able to do enough here. A couple more Banes do smash into a few more Marines. Parasite bomb on the Medivacs, okay. I mean, if there's an opportunity, this might be it, but I don't think we're going to kill too much. Parasitic bombs will get you Medivacs low, but they won't kill any. The Bioforce still looking good numbers-wise. Just not enough here from Solar, unfortunately. Looks as though Clem will advance through to be a non-Protoss participant in the semi-finals, because the entire rest of the bracket is PvP currently. So this is the only non-PvP happening. As the Bioforce gets through the Ultra, a few more Zerglings go down. The other drones are going to come pulling across. The hatchery falling. Clem is going to say, thank you very much, and not this time, Solar.